Hey everyone, it's Brent with BC Labs, and let's talk about the new Quest Lite. So a lot of you have probably been hearing the rumors about the Quest Lite, or the Quest 3 Lite that's in the works for this next year. Supposedly it's going to be a $200 to $300 headset from Meta, and it's going to take some pieces of like the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 and come in at a lower price point. So I want to kind of do a video about predictions and some of the leaks that have been found. So far from various sources, one of which, sadly, it's Bradley, has been digging into leaks related to this. There have been mentions that it's going to be an XR2 Gen 2 based headset, although there have been discussions that it's going to end up, there's been discussion that looks like it's going to end up with black and white pass-through, Fresnel lenses, and similar. There's also been claims that it may or may not come with controllers to hit that price point. So with that, let's get into my predictions. So personally, after owning a Quest 2 and a Quest 3, the Quest 3's biggest selling point is honestly MR. Now, I'm going to probably catch some heat for that because a lot of people think that the pancake lenses are a fantastic addition, that the boosted power and the new chipset has been very important, as well as some of the IPAD adjustment, etc., etc. There's also resolution changes and FOV. But for me, I've shown this headset to probably 15 or so people personally, not counting just my YouTube channel as a whole, which has reached more people. And so much of the response that has been positive towards the Quest 3 has been because of mixed reality. Like, whether it's because you can bring monitors into your living space and it actually feels immersive to some extent, even if there is some graininess to the cameras, I think this is something you're not going to be able to get away from. I think if Meta shifts away, they're going to take away a large portion of their user base that would get benefit from mixed reality. And it's also what I think the main reason a lot of people are considering upgrading to a Quest 3 is for some of these experiences. And there's a lot of cool ones, and we'll get into that in a bit. So I don't think they're going to drop color pass-through and possibly not the depth sensor from this device. There's been a leak of a BOM for the Quest 3, and it looks like the total cost for the device before R&D and such for parts and manufacture is like $430-ish. I think it's like $439 or something. And the entire camera module, like all the cameras combined, is like $30 or $40. That seems like a ridiculous thing to cut back on just to drop two cameras. You're saying to cut $20 off the BOM for the Quest 3 Lite or whatever it's going to be called, just to save a few dollars, when it makes way more sense to cut in other places, in my opinion. And so I really don't think Meta, if they know what they're doing, is not going to do that. I think that this is going to be a device that may reduce the camera count and do something kind of like the Quest Pro single camera pass-through, but with a depth sensor, so that they can kind of color correct a little bit better, while still having the lower quality pass-through of the Quest Pro. I think that's more likely than to cut the color cameras entirely. You get to save one camera, and you get to keep the same benefits. I could also see them cutting the IR cameras down by one also, and moving to a single pill in the center that has a color pass-through camera, one IR camera, and your depth sensor. They may have to move this pill further down or something, or angle down the IR camera to get a similar positioning to the Quest 3. But for me, that would make a lot more sense, keeping in line with the Quest 3's design language, as well as not cutting too many features. That's just my thought. I think that they're going to cut down on battery life. They're going to try to reduce material costs. I could see them even either weakening the speakers to a noticeable degree or cutting them entirely to sell some like earbuds. Those all make sense to me. Possibly getting rid of the controllers has been discussed. The controllers are only about $40 or so of the BOM for the Quest 3, so they're not a big price point cut, but it would be an easy way to distinguish this from the Quest 3 in terms of pricing, or to get it down to a $200 price point and a $300 price point with and without controllers. And this would fit similarly with the $150 cost of the controllers right now by themselves. So I see these as more likely options, going to a single LCD display, having a more limited IPD adjustment, similar to the Quest 2, Fresnel lenses, but an XR2 Gen 2, and limited mixed reality color pass-through. Maybe a lower quality camera, or as I said, reducing to one individual camera in the middle, and doing similar to the Quest Pro in terms of assigning color to the IR. Those are my thoughts. I think that's going to make a much bigger difference in terms of cost savings without stripping away $20 of savings to cut out MR entirely. Because Black and white pass-through is, for me, is dead. There's no way I'd be going back, and I would not be recommending anybody to go back to this headset if that's all it offers. And that's my personal opinion, but I think that that's going to be a major misstep if Meta's doing that. Unless this is a VR-only headset. Although for me that may seem like a wrong-headed choice, because the mass market appeal of this device based on its pricing, it seems like it's targeted at the mass market. And the mass market is not VR gamers. The mass market is people who generally are going to use things like the X-Real glasses or want something kind of like that that's light and lets you bring in virtual things into your space. Maybe for CAD design as that develops. Maybe it's for, doing art. Maybe it's for doing word processing when you're on the go without having to have multiple folding out screens. That's my opinion. The leaks say that it's going to be black and white pass-through, although, again, leaks are never 100% on the money, generally. I'm hoping that they're wrong, at least on that part. I am excited that it's going to move to the Quest 3's processor, though. Having the XR2 Gen 2 means a lot better everything. I've noticed the hand tracking being better, so whether that's because more processing power is allocated to it, or maybe it's just because the algorithms and the camera placement are better, I don't know. But it seems better, like markedly better on the Quest 3, as well as some of the game upscaling that can occur, as well as PC VR. So I think those things all point to this being a great headset on a budget for a myriad of reasons, as long as they don't give up the pass-through. Anyway, this is all speculatory based on the leaks I've read, and my kind of, finger on the pulse of this the developing market. And I know a lot of people aren't all up and excited about MR just yet, but every single person I've shown it to, that's the selling point. Showing off first encounters blows people's minds. And when I put somebody in something like Phasmophobia from PCVR or one of the shooting games like Contractors, there's excitement, but not anywhere close to what First Encounters brings, which is a tech demo of mixed reality. I kind of think we're at a crossroads with the uptake of virtual/mixed reality, and mixed reality is going to lead the charge for the mainstream. So I hope Meta didn't miss the mark on this and realizes how important that is to a mainstream or general market device. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was interesting to you all, and you can laugh at me in the comments in a few months when I'm wrong. Anyway, thanks again. If this was interesting, feel free to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.